Hello everybody, hope you're having a fantastic day today. Thank you so much for checking out my video. Today we're going to be doing a bit of a longer video and we're going to be covering how to complete I Am Become Death, which is essentially launching a nuke and a couple other little things that I'm going to get into it. I'm going to simplify this as best I can for you, so it is a bit tedious, but we're going to get this done. It is one of the harder missions. It is pretty much the final mission in the game, and I just want to say, don't, be afraid of this mission or launching a nuke. I will get you through this very easily here. But if we're just talking about I Am Become Death, to complete the mission, you need to become a general. So I do have a video on that as well. I'll link in the description on how to become a general. That's all you have to do, and then you can pretty much go and launch a nuke. But to begin I Am Become Death, after you become a general, you want to come back to the White Springs bunker here, which you should be very familiar with after you've become a general. And you're just going to want to talk to Modus to start this, actually. And you can do the training tutorials, but I just highly suggest that you skip over them by talking to Modus here. And then you can pretty much just go launch a nuke. You don't have to do the other stuff that is listed here. There is a website that I'm going to link in the description as well that'll show you how to get, or that'll just give you the launch code, so you don't have to worry about encryption. Trust me, nobody does it. But if you do need a nuclear key card, you can come to these computers as well and call a nuclear key card escort, and then you just have to shoot them down and then you will have a key card. You can go to either one of these terminals here that I'm showing. And after you shoot him down, you will have to come over to this container here and unlock it. You won't need any type of a locking skill to get into this. You'll just need a bobby pin. And just keep in mind it will be surrounded by vertibirds, and it is a little bit hard to hit, but I'm sure you could easily take it down as long as, you have some good weapons with you. And then you'll have a key card to be able to launch a nuke. Now there's 3 places you can launch a nuke: Site Charlie, Site Bravo, and Site Alpha. So this is Site Charlie. I wanted to show it first because it can be a little bit tricky to find the elevator if you're not familiar with it. All of these locations will have an elevator that lead down into a bunker, and the interior is exactly the same at all 3 silos. Just keep that in mind. If you do go to different silos, that will matter. They are different areas, if that makes sense. This is where Alpha is. They are different areas, but the interior and the layout is the same, so I didn't want to confuse that. They are different interiors, but the layout is the exact same. And keep in mind, when you come over to Alpha here, there is usually a bear lingering around, so just might want to kill him before you come over to the elevator door here, and this is how you will get to this bunker. Same thing with Bravo. The site is right here, right below where you do guided meditation. And this one's pretty easy to find as well. You just come up to this shack right here, and the elevator's there, and you can just go down into the silo, which will begin launching a nuke. Now I just want to point out, before you go and launch a nuke, when you become a general, you will get a missile silo state holotape. It is under holo in your items, in your Pip-Boy. Make sure you check this before you go launching a nuke, because if one has been launched recently, you'll see it says time to open 2 hours and 30 minutes. You will get all the way through this and not be able to launch your nuke, and you will not be able to complete this mission, and you'll have to go through the silo all over again. So make sure when you're in a public lobby especially that you check that before you go into the silo. You don't want to have any timer cooldown. So once you pick the silo that you want to go to, you're just going to come this way that I'm showing right here, and we're going to need to get a sample of our DNA and find a blue key card. These blue key cards are everywhere. They're on the tables I just showed there. That's why I like to just check those ones, because this is where you have to go into to get your DNA. So just make your way over to this room first is a good idea, and hopefully you'll find a key card. As you can see, I didn't find one here. But after you go to this room, you have to go to another room with a computer in it, or a terminal, whatever you want to call it. And there's 4 spawn points in there that I believe that can have a blue key card. And just keep in mind, these key cards are everywhere, on the tables, in all these rooms. They're very easy to find, so just if you can't find one right away, just look around. But I do suggest just checking these 2 rooms because you have to go into these 2 rooms anyway. As you can see, I found a key card here, and it's an old biometric key card is what you want. So once you've gotten your DNA test and the blue key card, you just come over to this computer here, swipe the ID card eraser, and then go into the terminal, and you're going to select the second option. And that is fabricate biometric ID. Now you're pretty much done the first step. This is just very tedious. I'm telling you, this isn't as hard as some people think it is. I'm hoping this will get some more people launching nukes. But after you have the key card all ready to go, you just come back to where the elevator was, and then you swipe it through there where I showed, and then this grid will be unlocked for you to be able to go through it. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to suggest that you do wear a power armor, especially if this is your first try. I will link in the description on how to get an excavator. It'll more than get you through this a lot easier. Also keeping in mind Master Infiltrator, it's a legendary perk. Now if this is, even if you have 1 slot open and you don't have this level 4, it can be extremely useful because just level 1 will allow you to hack level 3 and unlock level 3 lockpick areas. But if you have it maxed out, you'll be able to just run through the doors and run through the hack. So if you're not familiar with lockpicking and hacking, then you might just want to do it the longer way. Or you can use this time to practice your hacking. But anyway, once you go through that blue grid and you're in your power armor, you could have got in it before, it doesn't matter. You're going to come down here and just come through the door to the right here. And then you're going to come through here, and you will be getting a lot of rads in here. So that's why I kind of wanted you to be in a power armor. There is a hazmat suit there that you can grab as well, but it's just getting extremely dangerous. And there's a lot of turrets in here. There's an Assaultron. There's other enemies. It just gets very dangerous in here. So the turrets aren't shooting me right now because my friend turned them off, which is what I do suggest, and you can do by hacking the computer, even if you have level 1 Master Infiltrator. You'll just have to be a little bit familiar with hacking. And I do suggest turning off the turrets in this room unless you're going to run through it with Master Infiltrator level 4. And this is the computer that you come to turn off the turrets in this room. If you have Master Infiltrator 4, this will be so much easier. I highly recommend getting that perk card leveled up to level 4 as fast as you can, because it basically just negates lockpicking and hacking. You just click on them and it unlocks them, like I'm going to show right here. So again, if you have level 1, you can still go through these doors. You'll just have to play the hacking game or the lockpicking game. So a lot to work towards, maybe the first time you do this, you're just going to take the real long way that I'm going to show, and then you can work your way into getting this perk fully leveled up. As you can see, I didn't even have to play the lockpicking game, and I don't even have to play the hacking game here. It just lets me into the computer and lets me override the system, and then this door to my left will open. Now I'm going to show you how to do this if you do not have Master Infiltrator or you don't want to use it. You should be able to put level 1 on, as in if you hit level 50, you do have access to your first legendary perk slot, and I do recommend just putting on Master Infiltrator to run through here. But if you don't want to, you can come over to this computer right here, and then once you start the you're gonna have to do something on the computer, which I'm going to show, but what I'm showing right here is you're going to have to repair these pipes, and you can see they have the black and white caution like tape style on it, or whatever you want to call it. That's what you're going to be looking for, and I just wanted to show that before I start this. So what you do is you come up to the computer and you shut down the reactors. And once you shut it down, you're going to have 3 minutes to fix all of these pipes. Now, if you don't beat this on your first try, trust me, a couple more tries max and you will get this. You just have to go around and look for all the pipes and repair them. Now, there is a hissing sound that you want to listen for. It'll tell you if you're close to one that is broken. And just keep in mind when you get down to the last 3 pipes that need to be repaired, it will prompt you on your compass. You can see it's just showing on my compass right now to go to 1 area, and that's the computer if I'm not mistaken. So once you get down to the last 3, you can see on the compass there, it will show you where they are. So just go around crazy and looking for them, and keep repairing them, and then keep an eye out for those to appear on the bottom. And once the bar is full up in the top right there, You can go back to the computer and you can turn back on the reactors, and then those two doors that I showed that we opened up earlier with Master Infiltrator will be open. So a little bit of a longer way to do it. You can do this either way, it doesn't matter. I just wanted to show both ways just in case you didn't want to use the Master Infiltrator perk or you just don't like hacking like me. So this is the door that we unlocked again, and it was the computer in here that we used to unlock the other door. But if you shut it down manually, which is the longer way that I just showed, you can come through this door over here. This won't be open until you do this process and turn back on the reactors, and you can see both doors will be open. They won't be open if you don't do that process or use Master Infiltrator. Okay, so for the next part, I do highly recommend an explosive weapon. Any explosive weapon will do it. It doesn't even have to be a tier that you use. Like, I don't use shotguns, but I find this gun works really well. And it's just a shotgun with an explosive effect. And it's just very good for destroying the mainframe cores, because you have to destroy them manually if you don't use an explosive weapon. You can use weapons, but then you have to hit them right on with the explosive weapon. It just does area damage, and they all get destroyed really fast. So I do recommend an explosive weapon, or you're going to have to do these all manually one at a time. And the more you destroy, you can see the further you can go through these grids. Like, look how many that destroyed in one shot. Like, that'll take you like 30 seconds to destroy them all if you're not using an explosive weapon. Now, for the next area, I do recommend you turn off the turrets, because this is probably the most dangerous area in the whole silo. Tons of turrets, there's like 2 Assaultrons, and they will kill you. But if you can run through here quick like I do, you'll get good at it. I just try to run through here very quick, shooting the circuitry here, and then as you know that bar goes down, I know where to go. But if you want to turn off the turrets, which I do recommend you go in that room like I did, it won't turn off that turret right there, but it turns off the turrets in this room, and then you can continue destroying the mainframe until it will open the door that I'm going to show. You can just run through here quick with all the turrets going off like I do, and it is a lot faster, but if you're not, if your damage defense isn't up, then I wouldn't recommend doing it that way. Highly recommend turning off the turrets. It's just so much more convenient. And then this door will open after you've destroyed the mainframe and that bar is totally depleted. And just to show you where that door is again, you remember this is that room right there where we turned the turrets off. You just come right back and you just keep going straight, and it's to the right here. I kind of do a whole loop around that room, just destroying the mainframe, and then I end up at this door when it's destroyed, and then I can go through it. You probably don't want to just run right towards it, because you might have to destroy more than what's on that route, if that makes sense. And then you're just going to come to this area over here. We're getting there, everybody. I know if you're watching this, keep at it. You're almost there. You're about 70% of the way through the silo now. And I do recommend turning off the turrets in the next room. I don't generally, but again, if you want to turn them off, then you can. It's a good idea too. And then, you won't take as much damage. But if you have a power armor on, you'll probably be pretty good. And you can destroy the turrets and all these enemies in this room before you decide to do anything. So there's lots of ways to do this. You'll find your own way of doing it. I'm just trying to give all the suggestions I can. You can see I'm very used to destroying the turrets and coming after this Assaultron, because they're usually the first things that bother me when I'm going for this nuke, and those turrets up there as well. But like I said, I did turn these off before I came into this room. Another thing to point out in this room is this door that you can open. You can only open it from this side. Say you have a friend that wants to come help you and they came a little bit late, you can open this door up for them, and they just have to do the ID print and find the blue key card, and then they can just go through this grid right here, and then they can skip a lot of that other process, which was getting the generator to work there, I think it was, and going through where you have to destroy the mainframe. They can skip all of that and come to this room right here. Now back to this room. This is where we have to go next to get that door open to my left there. And you're just going to come over to this little computer area or terminal area, whatever you want to call it, and you're going to grab all these damaged mainframe cores. You can find them around this area, but it takes a little bit longer, but you may not have the circuitry to build all of these. So just so you know, if you don't, you can find them. They're scattered all over the place in this area only. You can see there's one on top of the bench right there I could have grabbed, but I usually just grab the damaged ones and fix them. It's a lot quicker. But you can just find 15 of them and then replace them in the mainframe there. But just keep in mind, if you are taking out the damaged ones, they do go into your inventory and they do take a lot of weight. So as you can see here, I'm just fixing them basically. So you go down to quest items and then you can craft all 15 at once. And just keeping in mind, these will go into your miscellaneous if I'm not mistaken, if you do not take them out of your inventory. Say you fix like, 7 of them and then you find 8 of them. 8 of them are going to be in your inventory and that's going to be close to about 12 pounds. So just keep that in mind. That's why I just like to take all the damaged ones, repair them all, and then put them back in, and then you don't have to worry about having any extras. But this area is pretty simple, right? You just make it so you're not bothered. Grab all these mainframe cores that are damaged when you first grab them, go fix them, put them back in, and then come up to the terminal here, and it will allow you to open the door. And then you're on to the last part of this mission. Trust me, and I know a lot of people may at this point be thinking this is very hard. It's not. Trust me, this is a lot easier than you think it is. Staying alive is the hardest part, and then you can just run back through it again even if you die. Now, I do recommend turning off the turrets in the next area as well. You don't have to. I don't usually do. But if you want to turn off the turrets in the next room, you can do it at this computer here. This is why Master Infiltrator is so useful, and that's why I wanted to point that out before you even run through the silo. Now, keep in mind when you come in here, there usually is a couple of Assaultrons and whatever else, Mr. Gutsies, so you might want to kill them before you start the process here, which is initiate the launch prep. And this part is pretty straightforward. So you just come up to the computer here and you initiate launch prep. Now this is going to spawn some red robots that are going to slowly make their way to some computers or terminals or whatever you want to call it here, and they're going to fill that bar at the top right here. Now it does start off very slow because you need to get a certain percentage before you can get 3 chief robots, and then you need a certain percentage of that bar full before you can get 5 chief robots. So just keep that in mind. It does start off a little bit slower and you do have to defend them. They can die, but of course you can also make a new one by going to a terminal, and then he'll just spawn at the robot making machine there and he'll make his way to the computer again. I'm going to show you one that gets destroyed here. But yeah, here's where another one spawns. And I just like to go around and kill all the robots, while that first one comes out, because the first one generally won't be a problem. You'll start to maybe have a problem when you got 3 chiefs. You can see now that 3 are available once we've gotten to about 10% of the bar, I think I would say. And you can see a couple more robots are starting to spawn now. The more people down here I find, the more robots that spawn. Sometimes I swear like only 5 robots spawn. Some launch preps are easier than others. But it is very easy and very doable. So just keep on it. Keep killing the robots. Keep them away from your red section chiefs, and they will fill that bar. If one gets destroyed, all you have to do is replace them, and the bar won't diminish or anything like that. So you can, they can get destroyed 100 times, and you can still fix them and still complete this. So don't worry about them getting destroyed. You can always come to a machine and fix them, and it will guide you where to go. Each section chief has their own computer or terminal to repair them. So keep that in mind. And then you just have to defend them. And once the bar gets totally full, you're pretty much done. All the robots around you will pretty much just die. So once it's almost full, you don't really have to worry about much. And then you're just going to come over here and you're going to put your nuclear key card in here, which I was showing earlier in the video. Yep, right into here. And then it's going to want a code. I'm going to leave in the description a link to a site that will tell you the codes for each silo. Every silo has its own special code, and they do reset weekly. So I will link in the description that site. It's called Nuke. Thank you, Nuke, for always having the codes for us. Now, once you've put in the proper code, you can launch the nuke wherever you want. I do suggest you launch it on Fissure Site Prime because it is one of the optionals, but you can really launch it wherever you want. You can fight Earl if you want, or an Ultrasite Titan, whatever you want to do. And you'll still complete the mission. And that's pretty much it, everybody. Then you are done. I am Become Death, and you've most likely launched your first nuke. I don't think you can launch one without getting this challenge, so congratulations if you're at this point and you're launching your first nuke. Congrats to you, because this is a lot to learn, but it is not very hard, and I'm hoping that this will get more people launching nukes. Let me know if you have any questions. I will get back to you as fast as I can, even if you're in a silo. Hit me up with a message. If not me, maybe someone else will get back to you as fast as possible, and then you can get to launching your nuke and fighting a queen or whatever that may be, and then you can start, you know, getting a lot of the good loot which you get from doing these type of end game events. And again, I hope this, you know, doesn't deter you. You know, this is easier than you think it is. I think I simplified it enough in here. Again, if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And if you are having problems, just pay attention to the video. I've pretty much covered everything that you need to know to get through the silo. Again, everybody, thank you so much for watching my videos. I really hope this helps you. Take care and have a lovely evening.